At 10:30, exam number 1 study guide. Okay, let's talk about what this next test will look like. Little basic vocabulary here. Let's talk about monomial, binomial, polynomial. This is 3 terms, so we can call this polynomial. This has 1 term, so that's monomial. This has 2 terms, this is a binomial. Now this next example we're adding. We're going to combine like terms. Make sure all of the exponents are the same. 10x squared y squared, 4x squared y squared is 14x squared y squared. 3xy squared plus 4xy squared is 7xy squared. Minus 8x squared y plus 3x squared y makes minus 5x squared y. Now we're pretty much going to do the same thing in the next one, but we're going to use subtraction. Now, if you want to, what you can do is go ahead and apply that negative to everything inside the parentheses. Minus 6 minus 8y plus 2y squared minus 3y. And then we can just combine like terms like the last problem. 3y cubed is by itself. 2y minus 8y is minus 6y. 6y squared, 2y squared is 8y squared. Looks like I left off a minus 3y. We'll come back to that. Minus 5, minus 6 is minus 11. You got this minus 3y, combine like terms. 3y cubed minus 9y plus 8y squared minus 11. Now for multiplication. Remember, the order of multiplication doesn't matter. Put the numbers together. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. X times x to the 4th is x to the 5th. Y cubed times y is y to the 4th. For question 5, we'll just use distributive property. 14n to the 4th minus 12n squared plus 4n cubed minus 2n. Now for this next one, we're going to use distributive property. You can use FOIL method. This times this, 10x squared, this and this, 20x, minus 6x, minus 12. And we can simplify that a little further by saying 10x squared plus 14x minus 12, and then we're done. Question 7 works the same way, but it's multivariable. 2x squared minus 10xy plus 3xy minus 15y squared is 2x squared minus 7xy minus 15y squared. Now for number 8, let's be careful. This is all multiplication. You can do 3t times t plus 2, or you can multiply this first and multiply by 3t. Just be careful not to distribute this 3t to everything. I think what I'm going to do is multiply the parentheses first. 2t squared minus 5t plus 4t minus 10 is 2t squared minus t minus 10. And now that I've multiplied that, now I'll come along and multiply by 3t. 6t cubed minus 3t squared minus 30t. Question 9 will work the same way, but what we need to do is go ahead and write this twice. 3n plus 4 times 3n plus 4 makes 9n squared, 12n plus 12n plus 16, which is 9n squared plus 24n plus 16. Now, question 10 will work the same way. We have a binomial times a trinomial. Let me do that on a separate page. 2x plus 1, 4x squared minus 7x plus 6. Now, we can use distributive, this, and this, and this. 8x cubed minus 14 x squared plus 12x plus 4x squared minus 7x plus 6. Combine like terms. 8x cubed minus 14x squared plus 4x squared is minus 10x squared. 12x minus 7x plus 5x plus 6. Now that's multiplication. Let's change gears to division. Work your way down the line. 10 divided by 2 is 5. X is 6 here, 1 here. 6 minus 1 makes x to the 5th. Y is there 5 here, 3 here. 5 minus 3 is y to the 2nd. Now the next question will be very similar. Let's reduce. 3 goes in here once, 3 goes in here 6 times. With x's, there's 4 here, 1 here. Subtract 1, there'll be 3 left over. Now with the y's, there's 1 on top, 8 on the bottom. So yes, I subtract, but the 7 that are left over will be in the denominator. So the solution is x cubed over 6y to the 7th. Now for question 13, you have to divide every single term by 2t. Students are very tempted to want to kind of cancel there, but we're not allowed to. If you want to, write it out as 18t to the 6th over 2t minus 8t to the 5th over 2t plus 20t cubed over 2t minus 2t over 2t, which is 9t to the 5th minus 4t to the 4th plus 10t squared minus 1. Nothing simplifies, so we're done. Now for question 14, we have to remember our exponent definitions. 8x to the 4th. Y to the negative 3 means position, so that goes in the denominator, y cubed. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So we don't put anything here because it's times by 1. Similar concept in question 15. Actually, what I think I'll do is go ahead and move the z's to the top, like that negative 3z to the 5th over 9, then reduce. Negative z to the 5th over 3. For question 16, use your exponent properties. Make sure you apply the 2 exponent to the 6 also. 6 squared is 6 times 6 is 36. Exponent raised to an exponent you multiply. Question 17 is pretty straightforward. Reduce it like a fraction. 100 goes in there 2 times, 100 goes in there 3 times. X's, there's 5 here, 1 here. 5 minus 1 will be 4, and those will be on the top. Very similar for question 18. Reduce, 5 goes in there 5 times, 5 goes in there 7 times. X's, there's 5 here, 1 here, there's 4 left over. Y's, there's 2 here, 8 here, there's 6 left over, but they go on the bottom. There's z and z, they cancel each other out entirely, leaving 5x to the 4th over 7y to the 6th. Now here, we have division and we have exponents. Order of operations says we have to do exponents first. 3 to the 3rd power is 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. Exponent raised to an exponent, we multiply, that's t to the 6th over 9t, and then reduce. 27 divided by 9 is 3. T to the 6th, 1 here, that's t to the 5th. Now for question 20, we have a negative exponent applied to everything. Now you could apply the negative exponent to everything, but that'd be very confusing. What I would do instead is simply flip everything and say this is equal to 4x squared over 3y to the fourth squared. It's not right. I gotta flip it. 3y to the fourth over 4x squared, and then go ahead and square everything. That'll be 3 squared is 9. Exponent raised to an exponent, multiply y to the 8th. 4 squared is 16. X squared is x to the fourth. Nothing simplifies, so we're done. Scientific notation. Remember, it's powers of 10. 80,000. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. That'll be 8 times 10 to the fourth. Question 22, we have a very small number, so that'll be negative exponent. Remember, you move the decimal, so there's one digit in front. So I'll move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times to get 3.4 times 10 to the negative 6. For 23 and 24, we'll go the other direction. We're doing standard notation. So I'm going to take the 4.5, move the decimal 7 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fill in the empty space with 0. So this is equal to 0.1234565. For question 24, we go the other direction. This is times 4, so we move it 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 0, 0, 0, and we're done. All right, for the last problem, we'll do some graphing. Now, this is a very primal form of graphing where you make up whatever values you want. Pick easy numbers. 0, 1, 2, -1, -2. Plug them in for x. 0 squared minus 2 is -2. 1 squared minus 2 is 1 minus 2 is -1. 2 squared minus 2 is 4 minus 2 is 2. -1 squared is 1 minus 2 is -1. -2 squared is 4 minus 2 is 2. Then all we need to do is graph these points. 0, -2. 1, -1. 2, 2. -1, -1. -2 and 2. Connect the dots. And there's our graph.